Good morning. Is this still morning? Yes, it's still morning. Good morning. I wanted to show you how you could explore what the library has already licensed. One of the problems that I ran into, however, is that these days, in the last 10 years or so, it seems like whenever we license something, that always expires. So I remember ordering things in the past. For example, there was this great film about people who were in this kind of like neutral zone in between Morocco and Spain, in the North African part of Spain. They have like a teeny little slice. And it was great, but I wonder if that expired after a year. So as we go out and we find documentaries online, maybe that's just the way that we license them. And you can see one of the things on my list. It was something that we could go out and license, which is totally fine, and that's the way to go. But here's how you find those things that we already have. So if you're in the library catalog, go to Advanced Catalog Search. And I did a lot of experimenting, and I made one movie already, and I was just like, oh, this is wrong. I made a mistake. Oh, my dangling zipper drove me crazy during that film too. Okay, so this is second edition. The first edition never made it to press. So when I saw that Weiwei film, it said it had a subject of documentary film, and that can narrow us down. But I was just like, what if it's not? What if it's something else like television, or it's just a film, or what have you? So I went away from that and I went back to any field, and I put in those alternates: television or film. So this is going to show up, this is going to search through the metadata. So these are the descriptions. And sometimes when we get stuff plonked in there, we don't edit the metadata. We just take what the publisher has given us. And so they might choose any one of these. Also, I was looking for refugee, and the little star means refugee or refugees. And I was thinking, well, there's a whole bunch of other things too, like migration or immigration or diaspora. You could also put in the names of places, or Syria, or I don't know if we put in Greece, then it might not be, might be like tourism. Syria, there's not a lot of tourism in Syria, but you can also think of like the names of conflicts or migratory movements. So there's like a big movement of people from Guatemala during the previous presidential administration that moved up through Mexico. Would that be something you could search for? Sure, you just throw in the keywords. But if I don't know what they are, I just want to look at just kind of everything in general. Here's the trick. You have to go to audiovisual. Another trick, I'm going to move my head. Another trick is there's some that are like wildly out of date. And so it seems like you could do the last 5 years or so. I noticed some were, one of them, the Weiwei film was from 2013. So maybe this wouldn't be advisable. Or was it from 2013? At any rate, you can play with the date as you go. But let me show you how I would generate a list that you could cruise through. And actually, since there's online links, you could see which ones suited your curriculum. I'm going to shrink the interface, and I'm going to move my head off to the side. It takes a while to pull all these together, the catalog, because I have slow internet, but also because it's pulling data from myriad sources. Whoa, that is amazing. The last time I did this search, because I did television or film. Last time I did this search, I only got like 50. So maybe it's too big, but so we're in audio visual. And if we click on full text online, whoops, I don't want the definition for full text online. Oh man, this might get a little out of hand. Oh, Oh, oh yeah. So there's a lot in. Oh, well, maybe this works out okay. Oh, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. So let's get rid of maybe diaspora. Let's get rid of diaspora Syria and see if we can narrow it. Since we have the luxury of 400 results, we can get rid of some of our keywords. And so we're looking just for refugee, migration, or immigration. Still 367. Diaspora might be a completely different thing. Asian Americans, trafficked in America, what in the world, Western Africa, separated children at the border. And you can see right behind my head, you have to click on full text. I think every time, I'm not sure. So immigration policy. Yeah, so all of these are online. Not all of these are going to be fantastic. Some of them are going to be like television news programs, and it's not going to have the richness of the firsthand experience of a documentary. And so what you could do if these were not satisfactory is you could just take off that section. And again, since we have the richness of 346 results, we can narrow down specifically to documentary, and then we'll get down to that 60 that I saw before. And that's when the list gets kind of thin. So that's what might be when you expand the date. So there's only 43. So this is how I would go about it. But when you're logged in and when your students are logged in, they should be able to just click on the online access links that pop up. So there's something probably from Syria. Juno Films I work a lot with. Children in No Man's Land, is that the one about Morocco? I'm not sure. Some of them are kind of like nostalgia. You can go through here and look at the subject as well. Are you looking? Let's see if they have like a list of conflicts. Like Industrial Revolution. Illegal. Oh, there's another one. Illegal aliens. Didn't think about that keyword. So there's another one that could be added there. So you get the idea. This is how I would sift through these. It seems like if we have things that are expiring, instead of looking on Amazon Prime, maybe the tactic would be to go out to the open web and search for documentary film, refugees, streaming, and then you can do a minus Amazon. So that will delete in theory. And you could see some of these other films that are available out there. That worked extraordinarily well. But that's a lot of work. If there's things that I can do for you, I'm happy to do so. If you want me to narrow in on a particular conflict or a reason for groups gaining refugee status, let me know. And it looks like some of these might be on YouTube. Oh, if you ever see this preview on YouTube, they show the whole film, but it's often, it might be somebody speaking in English, interviewing people from like Morocco is the one that I was looking at, and they just don't offer subtitles. So that's what the preview is all about. So it looks like you get the full film, but it's not really, unless you can speak the language of the interviewee. Okay, let me know how it goes. And if you want me to order that film, just let me know, and I'm happy to put that in the queue for ordering. Thanks.